It's me here, you're here, piano's here, with some drums in the background, of course. Why not, indeed, we say. And it's all about rock and roll today. Rock and roll, what is rock and roll piano? What is rock and roll music? So today we're going to take a big deep dive into everything rock and roll piano especially. Okay, so grab yourself a good brew and jump right in and let's get rolling and rocking and all that good jazz. Okay, not jazz, rock and roll. Rock and roll piano. It's amazing to play. It's not overly difficult to start with. You can get things at your level and build up. Okay, so there's something there for everyone. So, first of all, what is rock and roll piano? So the actual chords we're using is a C, an F, and a G. But we're going to enhance them and give them extra little notes to go with them, like a C6 or C7, and move up with the bass line. Now, apart from that, when you start to solo, wow, soloing, yeah, right. Okay, you can solo. You can do little nuances like this. Okay, lots of little tricks. You can do little trills. Okay, little chords in the left hand. All that kind of thing. There's so much involved with blues, stroke, rock and roll, and we're going more the rock and roll, 1950s rock and roll to be exact, the bubblegum era and the grease lightning, all that kind of thing. Now, when you hear something like this, okay, you would think of two songs, either the Adam Family. Doing them all get copyright strikes, so that's not happening, but you've heard that a million times before. However, the rock and roll music I'm talking about goes... Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. It's that one, okay? Now, we're not going to learn Jerry Lee Lewis' Great Balls of Fire as a per se song, but we are going to learn the elements that gives you that kind of music on the piano, okay? So that sounds something you want to learn. Stick around, grab yourself a good brew, make sure it's nice and warm, and we're going to get rocking and rolling on these keys in a mini, and Mo. Got you. See you in a moment. So make sure you know the three chords in any key you pick. The three primary chords, that is. So, in C major, we've got C, okay, which is chord 1. We've got F, which is chord 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, chord 4, I can count. I can all count to 4, I'm a piano player. Okay, and then the chord 5, that's 1 after 4, isn't it? There we go, 5, okay. So, chord 1, chord 4, chord 5. No matter what the key of music you are going to be playing in, you need to use your 1st, 4th and 5th chords. C chord, C, E and G on the right hand. Okay. And then we're going to play the F chord, kind of, but starting on your C. Now this is called an inversion. It's a second inversion because we have inverted it twice. Okay. So the F chord goes like that, doesn't it? F, A, C, but we're taking that off, going there, taking that off and going there, and take it down the octave. Okay, if you're not quite sure about inversions, I've got a great video, links below, check it out and make sure you watch this because you're going to learn the rock and roll piano, aren't you? Okay, so C and then to the F. Okay, now first thing you need to do is just get used to that. Now fingers is 1, 3, 5 and then 1, 3, 5 again. Okay, just try this for a moment. I'm going to slow the drums down this time. Okay, and here we go. Just try this with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just get the fingers flowing and get used to that position. And so on. So that's the thing. Now I'm going to slow it down even more if you can see the detail. Here we go. So get your hand in the C position and play down the whole chord. Try and get the notes down evenly as well. All right. And then we're going to take it off and we're going to go to C, F, and A. Like so. Okay. So watch again. The C chord, C, E, and G. Keep your thumb where it is and just play the 2 notes here, 1 higher. Okay. So first of all, just practice 1, 2, 3, 4. As you get faster, get more confident. Now, as I'm playing that chord up, I am letting a tiny little gap in between it, so you get a definition of all the notes going down. And you get that great attack that rock and roll music really needs. Okay, here we go. So, the C and the F. Okay? Now, notice what I'm doing in the left hand. We're going to go like that, C and G. So, C, pinky or little finger. And then second finger on the G. And then we're going to alternative the C and G. And then put the C and A down. Okay, now if you're from the UK, C&A used to be a shop, but they went bankrupt. Bit of trivia for you. Now that coincides with the chords moving. So when we're going the thumb to the A, is when we play our F chord, but we start on the C. I hope you're following. So by doing your right hand and left hand together, you start to see the coordination, okay? Instead of playing down here, play the left hand an octave lower. Gives it more solidness, it gives it more body, doesn't it? And it separates the melody as well, or the chord sounds. So here we go, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it going. So that's a basic start to rock and roll piano. Let's make it a bit more interesting. We're going to do something called what I call a pivot. Okay, so like a split chord. Okay, so what we're going to do is pivot on the C with your thumb on the right hand, and we're going to do this. We're going to put 2 down and put 1. Then 2 down on the F, and then back to the C, and 2 down, E and G, and 1, like this. So lifting the C off. So we're not putting the chord down all at the same time. We're not putting all the 3 notes down, look. We're not doing this. We're doing alternative, like a seesaw, okay? Okay, so that's the way to do it to start with. There's no reason why I can't change that, but this is the basic way of getting to the rock and roll piano. Now the left hand can just basically stay straight, okay? Just keep it down, so, okay. See what I'm doing there? So we've got the C and G on the left, thumb ready to go to the A. So 1 and, okay, 1 and, then change. Okay, so 1 and F and C and F and that's the best way to learn that. Now when you've mastered that on the C chord, don't forget we're only on the C chord. Earlier in the video I mentioned about the 4th and 5th chords. So all we have to do is transfer that type of information on the keys right up to the F. Okay, let's start with the left hand first. The left hand on C is C and G. Now that's what we call a 5th interval, okay? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dead easy, okay? So let's go to the F in the same position. let's now do F here and middle C with your second finger, like that, look. And then you've got the thumb for what we call the sixth interval. So there we go. Now the right hand, you'd think it'd be like this. But it's not. So the gap between the notes, there isn't one. So they're called semitones because there's no note in between. They're all absolutely next to each other. So in all major keys, all major scales, the third and the fourth notes are semitones. If you want to know about scales and how you build them up, there's a link below. C and F just there, look. Okay, so if we transfer that up to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 1, 2, 3 gives us an A. So we can play 1, 2, 3, and it gives us our A and C. Now that is just the same kind of shape as E and G. It's A and C, belonging to the F chord position, 1, 3, and 5. Now I told you that the E and the F, there's no note between them, so that's a semitone. So if we transfer that to the F position, we're actually going to go A up to B flat. This note here is called B flat, okay? Don't call it A sharp unless you're in the sharp key, and we're not in a sharp key, we're kind of in a flat key related to F and to C, okay? So B flat becomes there. So don't forget we're going, putting one up here, semitone up on the middle key, and we're going to tone up to D, okay? See that? Okay. So the semitone's on the third, but on the top it's the tone. With the little F on the root, play it down, pivot, that's the pivoting, you've got like somewhere to pivot and stay, and swap it over to B flat with your third and fifth, and then down again, and then 3, 5. Okay, so let's try that just in F. A 1, 2, 3, 4. So the same thing on the left hand, but this time let's do it alternative, the seesaw effect, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you've learnt now in C and F. Okay, what's coming next? The fifth of C. Good old G. Okay, so G. Let's get a G chord. Let's get the chord sorted first. So we've got G, B, and D. Okay, so the basic practice in shape is G chord, and then we play a C second inversion. Again, the relationship between the third and fourth semitone, so it's a note next to it, and then when we go to this chord, we go from D, E flat, up to E. Okay, so those. Alright, so it's B and D and C and E. Let's look at the alternative seesaw sound. So it's B and D together, G on its own. C and E together, G on its own. Poor little G. B and D together, G on its own. And C and E together, and G on its own. Okay, so that's the relationship. Let's try the left hand with it. So it will be a G on the tonic, or the first note, or the key note. There's lots of different words for the same thing. And then we've got the fifth, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got the D, G and a D, but your second finger on your right hand, because the thumb plays the E above when it corresponds with a chord on the right hand. Do you see the pattern? And move up. Do you see what we're doing there? Okay. Now again, a bit straighter. Let's get this down here. Yeah, meaty. It's a great sound. So practice those one by one to get really familiar with them, and then in a moment or mini mo, as you do know, we'll be going to put this together with a great drum beat. I'll see you in a... You've got it. See you in a minute. So let's put those together now. 1, 2. Up to F. C. G. F. C. G. F going up. C. G going up. Down to F. Down to C. Watch this. Okay, a little bit of bap, 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 edge into the C. So that's it for today. I want to practice that, and then next time I see you, there's going to be something else a bit more advanced and really taking this to the next level. Okay, till then, keep on rocking.